As Ricky said, I'm living up on the Kapiti coast. After a few years of semi-retirement, started to get back into repairing guitars. People started approaching me and asking me to do bits and pieces, and gradually remembered about all the years I'd spent modifying and repairing instruments, got interested in doing it again, and then gradually, with one thing and another, ended up playing around with the use of sustainable materials for instrument building, which has resulted in a sort of prototype version only with a neck kindly donated by Ben, custom graphics done one wet Sunday afternoon in the Lyell Bay. The body of this guitar is a composite matrix of bamboo, technically a grass, and by working to the strengths of the material, I've been able to use one of the world's ultimate sustainable materials to produce a guitar that not only manages to tick the sustainable box a wee bit, but also sounds a lot better than conventional hardwoods. It's an ongoing project. There's pre-production prototypes and all sorts of things going on at the moment. Made by a now very elderly gentleman in the States called Bill Lawrence, who for many years consulted in the music industry. He's a bit of a rascal, but he fell out with most of them. His little family company still makes pickups, and these are the pickups I've chosen. They don't really look like normal humbuckers. They've got a blade across them, but they're a humbucking pickup, and they're hotter than normal, and I'll tell you the reason for that in a minute. So, a humbucking pickup, we obviously have a fairly on sort of sound. This guitar, because it's fairly light, you've got a lot of attack. But it also wants to go as well. There's quite a lot of resonance in there. What I've done now, single coil pickups on the other hand have a finer, brighter sound, and there's a circuit in here that, unlike a coil tap switch, enables me to take. So if we turn it back up to sort of and I turn it down, no volume change, it's an entirely different guitar. That's now, with the use of an inductive filter network, which we don't need to go into, has effectively turned it into a single coil pickup. So we've got that finer, brighter, not pushing the amp as hard thing. Same pickup, same volume level. Humbucking pickups, single coil pickups. I wouldn't play a country song on that, and I wouldn't try and play an AC/DC song on that. But that's your single coil humbuck thing. Humbuck has got much more ah in it, and it's gark, we used to call it. Single coil and humbuck. Now, you notice I'm using the volume control here, and I'll get right into the volume control thing. If you're not using the volume control on your guitar, you're missing out on an awful lot, really. Now, one of the reasons why we don't use volume controls on guitars is usually, if the guitar is turned down anything from full, it sucks your tone out. And there's a technical reason why it happens. The treble gets rolled off, and so it starts to sound all dark and sludgy. When I first assembled this, it was like that. It was horrible. I was horrified. I was heartbroken. I thought I failed. But with the assistance of Ben and a couple of carefully chosen components, we put a thing called a treble bleed network on the volume control. Now, a lot of guitars come with these as standard. You should be able to, on any guitar, and it's no great mystery and it's not a huge cost to get it done, be able to turn it down and still hear high end until it's virtually off. So this, if we just turn it on to the sparkle setting here, lots of nice sparkle there. Halfway down. Sparkle's still there. Nearly all the way down. Sparkle's still there. Now I can use the volume control, because when I turn it down, I'm not disappearing down into the band. I retain nice sparkly high frequencies, and so you really should use your volume controls. It means I can stand here and cover an awful lot of what the wonderful things that happen when you do hit the foot switch on.
We can have an ideal. We can have something which we go, yes, this is the sound that we're after. This is, in a perfect world, exactly what I'd like. It's really valuable to have that, but to be willing to modify it as time goes on, as each ingredient is added to your signal chain. Be willing to go, okay, it's not quite what I wanted, but maybe it's got something else going on. For instance, with a lot of the pedal designs, with some of the pedal designs, I designed all of the Redwitch range. For instance, the tremolo, the pentapical tremolo, it's got a control on it called bottom, and what happens with bottom is when you strum a chord with tremolo engaged, the volume increases and decreases across the full frequency range when the bottom control is fully clockwise. When you turn the bottom control counterclockwise, the only frequencies that are affected are the low end. So you'll strum a chord and you'll hear the bottom going whoop, 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 but the top end stays the same, remains intact. That was purely and completely an accident, but it's a really neat, cool feature that differentiates it from a bunch of other pedals. So going into the design process with the attitude of, well, you know, I'm aiming for this, but let's see what happy accidents occur along the way, is a positive thing, and something that you can do too when you're actually, you know, pursuing your tonal goal, as it were.